When the querent does rock a continental frock.
Ah, Ferraro again.
Does rock a continental frock. When his Italian flair features odd facial hair, 'tis Ferraro. Signor Ferraro.
Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the wonderful world of Astrologaster, where we play a doctor who uses the stars to diagnose people. Doctor. Let's carry on.
God give you good day, signor. And how may I assist you?
'Tis I, Riccardo Ferraro, come once again to see the great Doctor Simon Forman.
So I see. What brings you this day?
I bring myself to you, so you treat my illness. 'Tis very grave.
And, what might this illness be? Perchance we might start with your complaints.
First problem is the laughter that cannot be controlled.
Uncontrollable laughter, you say? I see. Anything else?
Next problem, the dancing that cannot be controlled.
Uncontrollable dancing.
What?
And yet, you do not appear to be dancing at present.
What can I say? 'Tis uncontrollable dancing. I cannot control when I dance.
Nay, 'tis a fair point.
Doubtless my disease, whatever it may be, is very rare and very difficult to diagnose. But of course, if it be beyond your medical understanding...
Let me assure you, signor, that whatever is said of us on the continent, the learning of we English doctors is unparalleled. There is no better medical care to be had than in London.
But you're not a doctor.
Let us see whether the stars may tell us something of your unusual and troubling illness.
Right, let's find out. Uncontrollable laughter and dancing. So if we go with Virgo, ruler of tradition, it suggests an illness is chronic. This represents an imbalance in yellow bile. What's the other one? Has been bitten by a tarantula on one of his ankles. Tarantula venom causes the victim to laugh, sing, or dance uncontrollably, while you also provoke an acute loathing of music. Imbalance of the blood. I'm going to go with tarantula.
You have been bitten by a tarantula. Its venom has been creeping throughout your body, provoking the wanton laughter and dancing you're experiencing. The tarantula is a rare spider from foreign climes. Doubtless it travelled with you from Venice, hiding itself among your belongings.
Aye, doubtless you are right this time.
The venom may be expelled from the body using a combination of heat and music.
Heat and music.
I advise you to have a lutenist come by your house to sing and play for you while you bide near the fire. But take care not to insult the musicians playing, for whilst you will find it most loathsome, 'twill only be on account of the venom.
Molto bene, Signor Forman. I will do as you advise.
Well, you seemed happy.
Riccardo Ferraro bids you good day.
It was a simpler time. He was pleased, and then we're getting that letter of recommendation. Let's go.
Why does this lady feel confined?
That's the one we said was with child.
Mayhap the world is too unkind. Nay, doctor, medicate her mind. Pray cure this comely lady. Pray cure this comely lady.
Good day to you, madam.
Yes. Good day, Mr. Forman. Pray tell, is your Venetian querent Riccardo Ferraro one of the patients you treat for troubles of the mind? Forsooth, his manner is right strange. I passed him at the door, and when I addressed him in the Italian tongue, he abruptly turned from me and ran away down the street.
I don't think he's
Signor Ferraro
Italian.
has no grave troubles of the mind that I'm aware of. Mayhap he was merely dumbstruck by your beauty, madam.
Dr. Forman, a man is rarely struck dumb by a woman's beauty. Indeed, 'tis quite the reverse. He is oft rendered all the more loquacious, plaguing her with ill-formed metaphors he believes are compliments. and with hasty declarations and invitations she has neither sought nor invited.
Ah, quite. But let us turn our minds to happier thoughts. I did lately hear of your marriage to your cousin, Mr. Alfonso Lanier, for which I must congratulate you. And as I recall, you were with child when I last saw you.
I don't think that's the case.
I was,
Oh.
as you correctly judged.
Oh,
And your child and husband are both well, I hope?
I would rather not discourse on the subject of my husband, Dr. Forman.
no.
As it pleases you, madam. What brings you this day?
Lately I have been feeling heavy and lethargic. I do also find it hard to fix my attention upon the book I am reading or upon words I am composing. And yet, although I oft feel right tired, I am having difficulty sleeping.
Ah, well, becoming a mother, beset with all the demands of a suckling babe, can force change upon the normal rhythms of life.
Nay, 'tis not that, for I have employed a wet nurse for the feeding and much of the care of my son.
Oh, she's already had the baby.
Methinks I must have some kind of disease.
I see. Let us consult the stars to see what afflicts you. What is ailing Mistress Amelia Lanier?
What indeed? Let's find out. Oh, we got 3 options this time. Alright, so Leo. Current suffers from melancholy, being on an excess of black bile. This suggests an imbalance in the black bile. No. The illness is curable. What's this one? Suffers from phlegmatism as a temperament associated with excess of phlegm, characterized as stoicism and stubbornness. Psychological factor. Venus domicile in Libra. That indicates the illness will get worse before it gets better. Causes trouble with excessively caloric temperament. It is associated with excessive yellow bile. This suggests an illness of chronic. This represents an imbalance of yellow bile in the body. I'll go with Virgo.
You are afflicted with a choleric temperament, madam.
I see. And what treatment can you give me for it?
Before we speak of treating your condition, madam, I think it wise we determine what has provoked it. You did express a desire not to speak of your husband, and I cannot help but think that such a reluctance reveals where the source of your troubles might lie.
Perhaps.
To wit, within your marriage. Would I be right in thinking this? I do not wish to cause you distress, madam, but as a doctor, I do feel I must press you in case it is relevant to your troubles.
My marriage is not a happy one, Dr. Forman. Mr. Lanier and I do not agree on matters of money and strong drink.
I see.
I'll do it.
And what are your opinions on these subjects?
That he spends all our money on strong drink. He disagrees.
And your husband cannot be brought around to see your point of view, nor you his, I presume.
Nay, indeed not. 'Tis not a disagreement over what caused the fall of the Roman Empire, Dr. Forman.
Ah, yes. Well, I see what you mean. Well, mayhap I am not able to help you with your marital woes, but I can prescribe a treatment to help minimize their effect on your body. I will give you a list of herbs to acquire. You must boil them in water and drink of the infusion.
Maidenhair, oregano, wormwood, licorice, and fennel. I thank you for this, Dr. Forman.
Hey.
I shall at once to an apothecary go and procure these herbs.
Yeah, so looks like we got that one right, which is good. We're getting there. Mail. Sir, I thank you for your recent inquiry with regards to obtaining a license to practice medicine. I note from our records that you terminated your enrollment with our institution some years ago on the grounds of insufficient funds. Whilst we do not ordinarily issue medical licenses to men who have not first completed a medical degree, proof of equivalent professional experience in the form of letters of recommendation may be taken into consideration. A minimum of 8 such letters of recommendation is customarily required. I advise you to write to us again once you have obtained the requisite number of letters. John Cowell, Vice-Chancellor, University of Cambridge. Very fancy.
What is their relation? We are no longer sure. Seems Forman's
Bow chicka bow wow.
patient, and this is the cure.
Saucy.
Ah, my dear Avis, what a pleasure it is to see you. I have oft thought of our last...
I cannot tarry long. My husband will be expecting me home.
Oh.
Of course. But, dear lady, is something the matter?
Of course. Do not all your querents come with a matter they wish an answer to?
Well, yes.
Oh.
I wish to ask of the stars whether a man I am close with, a man who is not my husband, whether that man be also close with another woman.
A man you are... I see. Well, if I am to judge the stars for you, I must ask you to be more precise. In what sense do you mean close? The platonic bond of friendship?
Nay, close in the sense of being intimate.
Oh.
I see.
Intimate.
Then 'tis the familial tie of kinship, perchance.
Nay, I mean someone with whom I have shared physical relations.
Verily, madam, if I am to give you an accurate reading, you must state your question clearly.
Oh.
Methinks you know full well what I ask. I bid you ask the stars whether my lover is, that is to say, be it true that he engages with another woman in acts of strumpy-humpy.
Strumpy-humpy.
Madam, you astonish me.
Steady on.
'Tis unlike you to speak such indelicate words. Now, if I understand you correctly, you have a lover, and you wish to know whether he has been sharing his tender favours with another woman.
Aye, but did I not verily say so?
And now that we have at last fathomed your question, let us read the stars to fathom an answer. Has Mistress Allen's lover been unfaithful to her?
Do I get to choose? Yes, let's have a look. A or B? Right. A. Has been turned by jealousy and confusion. This indicates a mind of a minute. Alright, what's B? Let's have a look. Miss Sarah is seeing a woman who is willing and able to marry him. He wishes to continue his family line. This represents a mature man, Avis his lover. This indicates creativity being reversed. This represents a woman who is unable to please. Masculinity. Yeah, let's go with that one.
The stars are most clear, madam. Your lover has not been coupling with another woman.
He has not.
Forsooth, the stars say that your mind has been turned by jealousy and confusion. Now, if there is nothing further, madam...
Oh, how relieved I am to hear you say this. Oh, Simon, what a fool I have been not to trust you.
But you... this lover... 'twas me all along? You were not speaking of some other man?
I beseech you, pardon me, Simon. I had to know the truth from the stars, for I did hear tell of other women.
Which
How
women?
could you not see? No other woman is to me so dear, and verily I... Is it not clear to you that I...
Do you verily, Simon?
Oh, my dear, sweet Avis.
Coitus post consultatio. There we go. We're getting some again. Bow, chicka bow wow. Well done, Dr. Forman. Hey, got my first letter of recommendation. Thank you. Now I've got to please everyone else. Yeah, who's this?
She oft gets her hands on goods from foreign lands. That captain food Justice sends.
Okay.
Good morrow, madam. I humbly welcome you to my consulting chambers, and thank you for choosing my practice. Mistress...
Fortescue. Mistress Sybil Fortescue.
Well then, Mistress Fortescue, what may I assist you with this day?
I come upon a most troubling matter, sir. I know not whether it is a medical matter or something else.
Oh.
I see. Pray describe your trouble to me, madam.
Well, I suppose it all began with the dinner I hosted at my house last even. Mayhap you have heard of my dinners, Dr. Forman. They are much talked about. though I fear last evening's dinner will be talked about for all the wrong reasons.
Talked about,
Is she
you
holding
say?
a monkey?
Yes, indeed, invitations to my dinners are much sought after, for I host the most desirable of guests, lords, bishops, poets, explorers, painters and the like. Why, last eve I hosted the famous Robert Lord Devereux, the playwright William Shakespeare, and the Bishop of London and his wife. As well as fascinating conversation, at my table I serve the very latest and most original dishes. Last even, I served an exotic green vegetable called a potato. So crisp and refreshing. My dear husband sent them home to me from the New World. Doubtless you have heard of my husband, Captain Fortescue. He is a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh.
I see. Your dinners do sound most excellent, Mistress Fortescue. But what occurred at last eve's dinner that has you so distressed?
Well, in truth, 'twas after dinner. We all felt a strong desire to take some air, and so we left the table to take a turn in some pleasure gardens nearby. But then, as we were walking along the path, right in the middle of the gardens, in full public view...
Pray do not distress yourself, madam. Prithee, take your time.
My guests and I were, all of a sudden, stricken with pain. We began chundering and voiding from our...
Oh.
But there was nowhere to turn, you see. There were no bushes close by to shield our modesty. 'Twas unspeakable.
A moment, madam, as I note this down. Abdominal pain and simultaneous upward and downward purging of
Upward
a
and downward
most sudden
purging.
and violent nature.
Oof.
Now,
Woof.
let us see how these stars explain this most distressing and unsavoury event. What troubled Mistress Sybil Fortescue and her guests last eve?
What indeed? Let's have a look. Alright, my guess was stricken. Sybil and her guests were troubled by evil digestion. This suggests an illness is temporary. That's Taurus. Sybil Fortescue has taken a chilly cold. This suggests a severe imbalance of... Nah, it's not that one. It's troubled by wandering hands. This suggests an illness is chronic. This suggests neurosis. It's that one.
Madam, I think you said the New World vegetables you dined upon were green in colour, did you not?
They're not meant to be green.
And you described them as crisp and refreshing, I think. I take it then that you served them to your guests green and raw?
Yes, indeed. Most of the potatoes my husband sent me were full,
Potatoes.
dull and unhealthsome in appearance. Hence I served only the green ones. I had my cook cut them in such a way as to resemble roses. 'Tis the way I oft serve my apples.
Ah, then your trouble was a severe case of evil digestion.
Evil
I have read
digestion.
that these vegetables can be noxious if they turn green.
Oh, my days! Do you mean I poisoned my guests?
In a manner of speaking, aye. But worry not, madam, for the suffering was but temporary. Indeed, it does sound as if the bodies of your guests were most comprehensively purged of the poison. However, in future, be sure to cook the potatoes until they are soft, and pray do not eat the ones that have turned green.
As God shall mend me, what a shameful affair this has been. I shall go home and, well, I shall write to my husband and ask that he includes cooking instructions with the next gift of food that he sends me. I thank ye and bid ye good day, Dr. Forman.
Oh, she liked that, so that was good. Oh, got loads of points for that one. Good. Oh, Amelia again.
One such as we do rarely find, just needs a man to be behind, for she's but a lady.
What did we say was wrong with her last time? I can't remember. Oh, she was moody because of her failing marriage. Right, gotcha.
Good even, Miss Lanier. What brings you?
I am come about my future, Dr. Forman. I wish to know whether I will find success as a writer of poems and plays. You can predict futures, can you not?
You, madam? A writer of poems and of plays? Forsooth, how verily remarkable.
Well, 'tis true most of us Bassanos and Laniers are musicians, but I have chosen a different path. I've lately begun a collaboration with a poet and playwright. Let us call him Mr. S. He is presently writing a play that takes place in northern Italy, and as I am of Italian heritage, he has asked me to help him write it.
How interesting.
Mr. S.
And does this collaboration betwixt you go well?
Right well, or so methinks. Indeed, Mr. S did suggest that I am full talented as a writer.
But he did.
Be not afraid of greatness, he told me. For once our play opens upon the London stage, our success will follow, as night follows day.
I see. Then what would you have me ask the stars, madam?
Well, I've noted that Mr. S, although a brilliant man, is oft prone to exaggerated melodrama and implausible plot resolutions. I wish to know whether this story of his, of our future success, is true.
Very wise of you, madam. Then let us see whether your success or failure is writ in the stars. Will Mistress Amelia Lanier find fame and fortune as a writer?
Let's find out. Mistress Lanier maintains optimism her ambitions will be realised. Not only will she be successful, her work will lead to transformative and surprising political changes. Celeste suggests victory, represents politics, optimism, and there. This indicates cooperation. Right, what's B? Sensitive to the needs of a child. This house warns of a legacy marred with deceit and jealousy. Creative theft. It's a tricky one. I'll go A.
It would seem Mr. S.'s confidence is not misplaced, for the stars foretell that if you have faith in your success, you will succeed. And your contribution to the world will reach beyond literature to be of great benefit to society.
So, in order to succeed, I must hold fast to a belief that I will succeed.
Just so, madam.
But what you are asking of me is right illogical, Dr. Forman. Indeed, 'tis an impossibility. How can I maintain a belief that my success is inevitable when you have just informed me that my success is conditional and contingent? As Aristotle teaches us in
Mistress
his...
Lanier, mayhap I have confounded you with the nuances of my astrological reading. All you need know is that the achievement of your goals is very likely. Indeed, 'tis indicated that your collaboration with Mr. S will be a fruitful one. Prithee, madam, look not for bad news among the good.
Aye, mayhap 'tis best I not overthink it, as you say. I thank ye, sir. Good even, Dr. Forman.
Well played, Dr. Forman. Well played. A little pleased. Oh, that's not good. Running out of cases where we need to give us some good advice. Right. Oh.
The love of Forman's life, how futile 'tis to fall for another man's wife.
True story.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day to you, madam. What service may I perform for you this day?
For me? None. None at all.
Verily. Then I cannot fathom why you...
'Twas my husband who bade me come, for he finds it difficult to speak of... As I say, he had me come in his stead, and I could think of no reason to give him for why I should not come.
I see. Then what is troubling your husband? Madam, I cannot treat a querent without knowing first what his troubles are.
He is unable to perform his marital duties.
I see. And whatever does that mean? Your husband forgets to put out the night soil? Some broken shelving he's neglected to fix? Prithee, madam, I bid you be more precise.
Oh, you know perfectly well what I mean, Simon. I bid you not drag this out any longer. Pray read the stars and let us get this over with.
As you wish, madam. Now, let us see. What ails Mr. Allen so as to render him unable to perform his marital obligations towards Mistress Allen?
Right. What should we do here? Alright, so we've got Aries. Mr. Allen suffers from a loss of carnal lust. This suggests a deficiency of blood. This is get worse before it gets better. This suggests a mild enchantment cast by a witch. Right, what does Leo say? Suffers from cold in the heart. This suggests that the illness will be long-lasting. It suggests a disturbance of the mind. It's just a mild imbalance of black bile. And Sagittarius suffers from a crick in the back. It is causing him pain in the hips and make it difficult to perform duties around the house. That might upset her. We've already got a letter recommendation though, so do that one.
Your husband is suffering from a lack of sanguinity in the brain, which has resulted in a loss of carnal lust. According to my chart, there is little hope of remedy.
Verily, no hope at all?
Nay, I'm afeard not.
Oh, then Mr. Allen is not, cannot be a full husband to me.
Oh.
At least not in the full, true sense of being a husband.
Precisely so. And as a physician, it behoves me to observe how unnatural and lamentable it is that a wife be so neglected.
Oh, Simon.
Oh, my darling Avis.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow. Alright, I think I'll leave that episode there with Dr. Forman and Avis continuing their consultation. Otherwise, but yes, it's quite a fun game. I'm very suspicious of Ferraro. I don't think he's actually Italian. I think we might find out soon enough. But if you enjoyed this, leave a comment below, and we'll upload the next part in the future. So my name is Mr. Brian, and I was known as Brian, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.